Hello, welcome to Dev Radio. I am here with the team that created Interstellar Jobs. They were the winner of our March Innovation Challenge hackathon. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Great to be
Thank you.
here.
Thanks for having us.
I'm going to start by just asking, tell us a little bit about yourselves. What's your background in technology and how long have you been playing with AI? And I'll go kind of clockwise from myself. So Zach, you'll go.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I've been a software engineer now for about 3 years. I did study computer science in college, so I do have a software background. Before this hackathon, I didn't really have too much of an AI background, which is one of the reasons I was really interested in doing it. Get some exposure to not only the Azure services, but also some exposure to AI. Which
Yeah.
I think.
Cool. Ariel, how about you?
Yeah, so I've been in software engineering, I guess in total for professional experience, about 6 years. I started off doing embedded software testing, and now I currently work at GM and do a lot of different things with different stacks, Python, like full stack, that type of thing. And we work in the autonomous vehicle field. So
cool.
that I have a little bit of experience working with AI, just doing data collection and from my school experience. But this was the first time really that we got to dig deep into it. So this was a really cool opportunity to use Azure services to do that.
Cool. George, how about you? How long have you been working in technology or being a developer?
Yeah, sure. So I guess from a professional experience side, I've been working now for around 2.5 years. My background is more like a mixed bag from software development and from data analytics.
Yeah.
And I come from more of a non-traditional background where I initially came in as an electrical engineer with an interest in data science. That's where my minor came in.
Mhm.
So that was just kind of the initial kind of point of curiosity when it comes to analytics and AI. And yeah, no, I initially got into hackathon because I thought it was pretty fun. I knew people I was working with, so I knew that would be a fun project just to get in with. Yeah, it's fun just to explore more of the newer technology, especially now that AI is expanding.
Yeah, cool. And Mahir, what about you?
So hey guys, my name's Mahir. I have about 2 years of experience as a full stack developer. I've been working professionally for maybe like 2.5. I graduated in 2022, and as for AI exposure, pretty much ditto what Zach said. We kind of took this as an opportunity to get exposed to a lot of these AI tools that Azure provides, and really took it as a learning experience. One thing I want to add, by the way, is we all know each other from work. So we actually do work together in the AV space. That's how we got introduced. And we also go to school in Georgia Tech together right now for our online master's in CS. So when this opportunity came about, we kind of put this out there. Hey, is everybody interested? So we kind of already knew each other. And that's how we kind of got into this hackathon to begin with.
Yeah, I think that probably helps with a hackathon, to have a little bit of rapport going into it, because then, I mean, there's going to be moments where things might get a little heated, and you need to feel comfortable being open with each other and just knowing, how to divide things up. But let's talk about the project a little bit. I think the challenge you guys worked on the idea was around supported employment, which is the idea that there's people who they've got various disabilities, but they're able to work. They just need a little bit of extra assistance with whatever their situation is and whatever their job is. And the people that help them are called job coaches, and it's a tough job. And so we wanted to get some ideas, but like, how could AI make their lives easier? So how did you guys approach the problem, and what did you end up making?
I can take this one.
Yeah.
So we were looking at different needs that people might have that have different disabilities or accessibility needs. And one thing that we noticed was that regular job boards, like the most popular ones that people use, often aren't geared towards that sector of people. It's just set up differently. So we wanted to have more resources come about to support these people with different, abilities. And we thought AI would be a really cool opportunity to lump that in with that. So that's how we had this idea of a job board that both job coaches could use to look for jobs for people with accessibility needs, and then people themselves could use it as well. So that's kind of how the idea came about.
And so how did it work? Did you just make jobs that would be accessible, and you did more than that? How did you break it down?
Sorry, your mic cut out right there at the end asking the question.
Oh, sorry. So how'd you break the problem down? And you just kind of like, hey, here's some jobs that can be accessible. Go at them, or
Well, I guess when we first had a brainstorming session, we kind of looked at it from, like Ariel said, the coach and the candidate perspective. We knew we wanted to use AI somehow to recommend jobs, which was our original idea, to those with disability based on their disability. And then as we were thinking about it, we decided, well, why don't we, also address it from the employer side as well, which is where the idea of a job board came in. So we could address, all three types of users: the candidate, the coach, and the employer. And then we were looking at, okay, how can we use AI to do the jobs part of this? And what we ended up deciding on was we got a bunch of thousands and thousands of jobs, like a job data set from Kaggle, and decided that, okay, this will be our list of jobs, kind of, mocking an employer posting a job on our website. And then it would be up to the coach or the candidate to be able to, find the jobs that they'd be kind of interested in. And then we'd use AI to generate the notes based on that job and their disability, where they might succeed or where they might struggle.
Interesting. What was the hardest part of putting it all together?
Yeah, Mahir, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So there were a lot of challenges initially. I think where a lot of hackathon teams would fall apart is they would focus on the services first. We didn't do that. So our mindset going into it was we'd find the problem first, and once that is defined, only then we would kind of look at the services that we were going to use. So because of that, a lot of the challenges that we would have kind of solved themselves. So I'll give you an example. One of the issues that we were considering was, if we want to make a disability, if we want to look at specific disabilities, how can we address that when there are so many jobs, right? So initially our point was, when we go to a specific job and we want to address a specific disability, we would have a drop down that would list potential disabilities that this user could have, which in traditional development, that would be a good approach, have like a big data set of jobs that they can choose from. But that's where the AI comes in. Because of the OpenAI service, now we're not bound by the actual selection of disabilities. Instead, we're bound by how we restrict the response in the back end. So we left it super open-ended for our users. They can put in whatever they want in that box that says, define any impairments or challenges that you might face on a day-to-day basis. And then in the back end, we use our AI service to kind of clean that so that they always get a structured response back that is useful. So, in doing that, we kind of discovered the value of AI in a lot of these applications. And I can give more. I don't know if you guys.
That's a great example. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I like the way it, changes the way that people interact with the whole system. I mean, just as a user, just not having to pick from a drop down feels good.
Yeah. No, for sure. And the other thing it does is, I know this is intended, the prompt was intended for people with disabilities, but it kind of opens it up to people even with minor challenges that you wouldn't even consider disability. I'll give you an example. So after we made this, I let my mom use it, test run it to see what she would do with it. And her concern was not a disability. Her concern was age. So she says, this job seems interesting, but would it be a problem that I'm going into it in my 50s, right? So you put that in, and it would still give you a response back for things that candidate can do to make the job easier for them. So it's very, very flexible, which is found was a big advantage.
I mean, it's the old thing about if you make something really usable, it's going to be accessible as well.
Yeah.
And so, kind of done
that's
both
where we
things.
kind of looked at it in terms of like a full product is what we kind of wanted to build, and then plan out what this product should have, and then kind of further down what we can get done within a 2-week period. So we definitely had a lot more plans for this as well, going past the hackathon.
It's always key to like just focus on what you can get done first.
Maybe honestly, that was the biggest challenge, the scope of it.
Yeah.
We had so many things planned initially without realizing how much work each thing would take. And then the challenge was kind of trimming it down, like Zach said.
It's often the problem with professional development. You've got a ship, but
Yeah.
what do you guys think, will this be helpful as you move forward, this experience?
Yeah, so for me, I think yes, because obviously as AI is also becoming a big role, not only for the consumer, but as well as for the developer to use in their work. So I think it was great to get some exposure into, prompt engineering, and as well as with Azure. So, like Mahir said, and like we said earlier, we all work together, and our company's kind of doing a big shift to using Azure services. So it's great exposure for, professional interests as well as personal interests.
George, how about you? You said that your background was, you kind of started more with an analytics point of view, but you've taken on development. Did this kind of make you feel more confident as a developer, or were you already pretty confident?
I would say I was a little more confident in the case that, so at least when I came in, I was initially a data analyst when I was interning, and then came to General Motors because we joined as a program called Track, which causes us to shift between different roles and a given 6-month time period, which I swapped from developer to analytics engineer back to developer again. I think from my breadth of experience from before, I think coming into this project, I think it's allows me to kind of engage and use the skills I've used previously before, and now be more honed in on this given project, which I think is a little bit more of an improvement.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anyone else want to share anything before we wrap up? Any advice for the next round of people in the hackathon?
I think definitely, like Mahir and Zach were saying, scope, keep that in mind. I think we did a good job of just trying to figure out what's our problem statement at the beginning. And then we did like a whole brainstorming session. We all had different ideas. We're kind of no wrong ideas at that point. And then we were able to narrow it down.
Cool. That is good advice. You froze up for a little bit there, but we caught you.
To just the way that we worked well together. We had really good teamwork. Oh, okay.
So I guess I'd maybe add on to go explore what you want to learn, whether it's your strong suit or not. I think it's still good to get some exposure and working on something real for a project.
Yeah, totally. Always better to do it when you're in a safe place and you can break things. Yeah,
sure.
Well, thanks to all of you for the work you did, and thanks for coming on. Take care.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.